What is up, everybody? Mark on the mic here. We have a listener request today, special request. James Kane writes, "Hello, Vortex. Like to hear about using binoculars with eyeglasses from Mike." Sitting across from me, we got Mike, the optics guru, expert himself, and eyeglass wearer. Mike, you're wearing them right now.
And I do all the time. I do not wear contacts. I prefer glasses, have always preferred eyeglasses over contacts. So, yeah, I'm one of those people who has to be concerned with eye relief numbers.
Gotcha.
On most optics. Not necessarily rifle scopes. Different reasons why you'd want long eye relief to avoid getting dinged in the brow.
Does every person who wears eyeglasses need to wear their eyeglasses when they're using binoculars?
No, but the reason that you would want to is if you're nearsighted like me and you don't have good distance vision. You're nearsighted, you can see things reasonably close to you, but everything beyond, say, 50 feet is fairly blurry.
Okay.
So if I'm outside and I don't have my glasses on, I can't really see what else is going on. I might miss something in the periphery. I might not be able to see downrange across the prairie or whatever. So I do want my glasses on so I can see things out in the distance, so I can scan around. But then, you don't have to. You can still focus binoculars without your glasses on. You might miss something. But that can be an individual thing depending on how bad or good your vision is. You just might not need to wear your glasses all the time.
Okay.
If you are farsighted, you might not want to necessarily. You don't have to wear your glasses.
If you are wearing eyeglasses while glassing or you need to, Mike, you brought up the term eye relief. So why don't we, or if you can, maybe give us a little definition of eye relief and how that comes into play for a person who maybe is or isn't wearing eyeglasses.
Yep. So eye relief, just by technical definition, is the distance in millimeters from the last glass lens surface to where the exit pupil is. So every optic has an exit pupil calculated by aperture, objective size, divided by magnification. So like a 10 by 50, the exit pupil would be 5 millimeters wide. Mm-hmm. Where that exit pupil behind that 10 by 50 is 5 millimeters exactly, the distance between that exit pupil and the last glass lens surface is the eye relief.
Excellent.
In millimeters.
Excellent explanation. And more critical, to have maybe a greater eye relief for a person who wears eyeglasses then?
Correct. So there are actually, I'm going to blow your mind with this one because I don't think you've ever heard this. There are actually two types of eye relief. And the overwhelming majority of sport optic manufacturers, including ourselves, we only advertised something called true eye relief. But then there's usable eye relief, which is a little bit tricky to figure out what that number is. True eye relief was the definition I had just given you. Last glass lens surface to the exit pupil. But you will note that optics today have adjustable eye cups.
Right.
Which changes how much of that eye relief can actually be used. Okay. So generally, an eyeglasses wearer wants an optic, like a spotting scope or a binocular or a rangefinder, something you're putting right up to your eye. You want it to have at least 15 millimeters of eye relief.
Okay.
Now, that's true eye relief. But usable eye relief, since it's not published and there's a way to measure it, but it's not easy, a couple of things take away from your true eye relief. The depth, how recessed the lens is beneath the top rim of the eye cup, well, that takes away from true eye relief. So if you look at, our two binoculars here, you can see the lens element of the ocular or eyepiece is set down pretty far. So that looks like a depth of maybe 3 or 4 millimeters.
Sure.
The actual usable eye relief, even with this eye cup all the way down, is whatever our specification is. Let's just say it's 18 minus 3 or 4 millimeters because of that depth. Now, if you twist the eye cup up, you're making the usable eye relief even smaller.
Gotcha. Right.
But the thing is if you're not wearing glasses, that's okay because you're going to put the eye cup into either the top part or bottom part, You don't always want to put the eye cup full into
No.
your eye socket because it can get too close to it, and that will create some shadowing or vignetting. So
Even just I don't like a lot of pressure. Like I don't want to, I'm not
right.
trying to.
Everybody's different on that one. I usually, if I am not wearing my glasses, which sometimes is the case, if I just want to see something out the window, if a bird or something I hear out my window, I just want to take a quick look at it, and my glasses aren't handy, I'll grab a pair of binoculars, and I'll generally twist the eye cups up to the full height. Okay.
Okay.
Now, you'll notice on most binoculars, they'll have intergrade positions because everybody's different. Some people might need a little bit longer eye cup because their eyes are more inset. You have deeper eye sockets. Some people might not. Some people might have a more Neanderthal like brow, like Jimmy Hamilton, say for example. I don't know if you noticed he has very pronounced brow.
Okay.
That's kind of old school there. Yeah, you and I are.
I wouldn't have thought to describe it in that manner.
Yeah,
but
you and I are a little more advanced.
I'll definitely pass this along.
Just kidding. But that's why these intergrade positions are there, because there's not going to be a 100% agreement on what's right, what's wrong. It's an individual thing. So, but generally, if you're wearing glasses, those eye cups are going to go all the way down.
Right.
Because you want the maximum amount of usable eye relief, the usable minus the depth of the, that you can get. So, because you're running into a barrier with your glasses on. If these eye cups were all the way out, and I could use them that way without my glasses, the problem is that exit pupil cannot get to the lens of my eye where it needs to be.
Right.
So if I drop the eye cups down, now that usable eye relief is longer, and I can get that exit pupil to my pupils, the lens in behind my pupillary opening. And that's what's important, because that's got to get projected onto your retina, and so that's what you need. If a binocular has not enough eye relief, the user will see the image vignetted but constricted uniformly around the entire field of view.
Right.
A non-eyeglasses wearer can see the same effect just by pulling the binocular away from their face a little bit. Your field of view has a nice sharp field stop.
Right.
And then instead of that, you pull it away, it becomes blurry. And your field of view, what you see, your apparent field of view gets narrower and narrower.
Right.
So you bring it closer. Of course, if you were to take this binocular without glasses and put it right to your eye sockets, you're going to see another type of shadowing or vignetting, because you're too close to the lens, and the obstruction there is your iris is blocking part of the exit pupil from projecting a full image into your eye. It's your iris causing that shadow.
I'm the problem.
Right. So you'll notice
it's not the binocular, it's me.
It's both.
Oh, okay.
You'll see that.
Hey, shared blame.
But what people will see when they're getting when they're too close to the optic is they'll see like a crescent or kidney bean type shadow that moves around as their eyes move around or as they pan.
Okay.
It's your eye causing that differential vignetting.
Gotcha.
A lot of technical terms in this eye relief business, isn't there?
Oh, big time.
Yeah. But it's pretty easy to remember. The magic number is you want an optic to have at least 15 millimeters of true eye relief. Generally speaking, that leaves enough usable eye relief with the eye cup all the way down that you're going to be good when wearing glasses. There are situations where people have glasses that come out really far, maybe a real thick prescription, and even 15 isn't enough. A lot of times people who are in that situation, they've been down this road before, and they may say, well, I know that the binoculars that work best for me have to have at least 17 or 18 millimeters of eye relief.
Yep.
And again, the function that's working there is actually the number we don't know, the usable eye relief.
Okay.
Okay. But if it has enough true eye relief, they're usually going to be good, and there'll be, kind of a standard number that they can go with when shopping for optics, that from experience they know that they can't get away with binoculars with less than 17 millimeters.
If you're looking
eye
at
relief.
those specs and you know, or that number of true eye relief, true eye relief is going to translate into additional usable eye relief.
You can actually measure both types of eye relief by putting a binocular flat on a table, putting a source of light like a flashlight, take like a white card and fold it into an L and put a ruler out. And you can first, using a calipers, you can measure the depth of the tip of the eye cup down to the glass lens and figure out what that number is. And then you move that piece of paper back and forth until the projected beam is the diameter of the exit pupil.
Gotcha.
All right. Then you just look at how many millimeters that is from the tip of the eye cup to that white piece of paper and add the depth. There's your true eye relief.
Sounds like science.
And at the same time, yeah, it is a little bit. At the same time, minus that depth, that's the usable eye relief. And you can see if you take the eye cup out, that in the piece of paper, like if you did this and
usually I have paper here, Mike.
Yeah,
I don't have. I
if
got electronic
if you were
notes today.
projecting,
printer wasn't working.
If you were
again.
projecting the exit pupil on this jawbone, well, the usable eye relief would be from the eye cup here to the bone, and if you twist the eye cup out, well, obviously that you've just decreased the usable eye relief.
Okay, right.
Right, but the true eye relief stays the same because it's from the lens to the jawbone.
Gotcha.
Make sense?
Yep. It does, actually.
Yeah, I wouldn't do this with a jawbone, though. I would do it with a piece of paper.
Hey, we adapt.
That's right.
Make use of the tools you have at hand. Okay, so Mike, you said, in general, you're looking for 15 millimeters of true eye relief. So when you're looking at the stats, that's the one that's going to be posted with the binocular that you're looking at.
And that'll be good for over 90% of the population. So there are, everybody's a little different. So 15 is usually the magic number for most people.
Well, and you look, I'm a non-eyeglass wearer at this point. When I run my binoculars, I actually run them either all the way in or one click. Those are my two sweet spots. What does that say about me, Mike?
What it's saying
Let's make this about me.
About you, Mark, what that's saying is you're not putting, if you're running a binocular with the eye cups all the way down or even just one click up, you're not putting the whole eye cup into the eye socket.
No.
You're putting it on your brow somewhere.
Right here.
So you're creating that gap that my glasses make by having my glasses out. So
and that's just a personal preference thing, right?
That's not a bad way to balance your binoculars. Usually what I'll have to do is I will set the binoculars right on my glasses like this.
Sure. Yeah, you're like kind of bracing them on.
Yep, just like that. And if I'm not getting enough eye relief out of a particular binocular, I'll actually push my glasses in a little bit.
Okay.
So that can happen sometime.
Manually adjusting your eye relief.
Exactly.
I guess you kind of always are with the eye cups.
Well, sure.
But okay. This might be a tough one. Do certain optical systems or maybe configurations have more or less eye relief? Like let's say you're a person like, man, I actually, because of the thickness of my lenses, my face shape, I'm in that 17 to 20. Let's say, probably that minority 17 to 20 millimeter bracket. Are there styles of binoculars that a person could look at?
And I can't tell you exactly why, but there is an alternating maximum eye relief potential that alternates like from 832 to 1032 to 842 to 1042 to 1050 to 1250. 1050s tend to have a little bit longer eye relief than 1042s.
Okay.
8x42s tend to have longer eye relief than 10x32s. And then 832s generally have a little bit shorter eye relief than 842s and 1032s. But that can always be tweaked by a manufacturer.
Right. By
changing the optical system for each one to maximize what the eye relief could be.
What about, I didn't really ask that. You actually answered my question very good for the way that I asked it. What about we got a set of 15s here, right? In general, so this is a 15 by 56. We've got an 8 by 42 next to it. Does that have any sort of relationship as far as is the 15 going to have less eye relief, more eye relief?
Not necessarily.
Just optical design is going to influence that.
There's kind of a general rule, but it can be broken by the manufacturer.
Okay.
You can typically put whatever eye relief you want because you can affect the eye relief through the design of the ocular. You can affect the gap, the depth, by not making the eye cup so tall.
Okay.
Right. So there are a number of things in the design that can be done to maximize the amount of usable or true eye relief to the optic that doesn't necessarily follow magnification or aperture size or combinations of.
It's almost features or attributes of the binocular independent of the optical system.
It is. You got to look at the
outcome.
specifications. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's say anything as it might pertain to you have a different prescription, like in each eye. Like maybe you wear eyeglasses, but your left eye is different than your right eye.
I suppose it's possible, that I have not run into it, that there could be a physical abnormality where your eye relief is different from eye to eye, but I don't think I've ever encountered it.
Okay.
But it's not impossible.
You've encountered a lot of folks
Yeah.
with optics needs.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say that we can say that probably just doesn't.
Yeah. If you have different vision eye to eye, that's usually the diopter, the differential offset focus that takes care of that.
Right.
But the distance of eye relief, you think about it, we're pretty symmetrical creatures.
Yeah.
Right? And it's all about your pupillary opening, the position of the lens of your eye, and the distance to your retina.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be in play here. And if the oculars are the same, and the eye relief distance to the exit pupil is the same, and you're symmetrical, even if your vision is different, it's the distance that's important.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but the diopter will tweak out any difference in vision you have from eye to eye.
And then eye cup style. We touched on that. I think pretty much everything in our lineup, they're twist up and down eye cups.
Listeners may not know, depending on how long they've been in the optics realm, that a lot of optics early on had roll down rubber eye cups, which you would take it and just roll it down, which unfortunately that crease there, that was a weak point, and they would crack over time. They were exposed to the elements, the sun, water, and then your eye cup would just fall apart.
Right.
Yeah. So it's been a while since I've seen a binocular with a roll down rubber eye cup. I don't think we have any anymore.
I don't think so.
I can't think of one. But yeah, these certainly are a much better design, the twist up and down. If something does happen to them, they're easy to replace.
Right.
In a lot of cases, if somebody loses one or it breaks, we can send them the part, and they're easy enough to install at the end user level.
They've got positive stop adjustment points. You know when you're at one click on one click, two click.
Some binoculars don't have that intergrade clicking, or it's a little weak. One of the things that I've actually done or have seen people do is you can put like a rubber band below the eye cup to keep it from going down further if you need it at an intergrade position.
Oh,
like if you're right there,
you're kind of shimming it a little bit.
And that's the best spot for you, and it goes down all the time, and you're sick. Just wrap a rubber band around there.
I'm not that particular.
Yeah, me either. But I've seen people do it.
Okay.
And I've done it a few times just as experiments with some binoculars.
Mike, anything we missed? Anything I didn't ask about that would be beneficial for an eyeglass wearer considering binoculars?
I don't think so. The designs, the modern designs today, eyepiece, ocular designs, and eye cup designs, and eye relief, probably accommodates well over 95% of the population. So there are always going to be exceptions to that. And we spoke to some of those. We don't really want to get into IPD, but that's usually one of the few blocking points of why someone can't use a particular set of binoculars. It isn't generally the eye relief.
Right.
It's the spread, the interpupillary distance. Are someone's eyes too close together, or are they too far apart to use a particular binocular? That's actually, even though that's not real common, that's more common than not being able to use a binocular because of eye relief.
Gotcha.
So, point there.
Gotcha. Well, Mike, I thank you. James Kane thanks you for covering this topic. As per usual, thanks for bestowing us with your incredible optics knowledge. It's always a pleasure.
Well, you're very welcome. Happy to do it.
Is it tiger beetle season yet?
Actually, a friend of mine, Lester, shout out to Lester Doyle, he found an oblique line tiger beetle in Columbia County about 2 weeks ago on a warm day. So they emerged.
Fascinating.
Now, it got cold again, so the ones that did emerge from their burrows buried themselves back into them.
Is that like the groundhog thing a little bit? If the tiger beetle sees a shadow?
I don't know, but that's something I'd actually like to see. Enough of this. What are their names?
The groundhog?
Yeah, they have names.
Oh, I don't know.
Puxatawny
Oh,
Phil.
yeah. I think that is
Isn't there
yeah.
one? Jimmy in Wisconsin? They're marmots, right?
Ish.
Marmots.
We've gone too deep.
Yep.
Mike,
Anyway.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We've gone once again over 10 minutes. I should have cut it short. We could have actually been sub 20. Maybe Ryan can edit this out. I don't know.
All right.
Ryan, work your magic. Thanks, everybody, for listening.
Thank you. Yep.
We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye now.